Imagine what life would be like if you could feel really passionate again. If you had something that made you get up out of bed in the morning, where you knew where you were going, you know what you could do, and you would just get on with it. Nothing would get in your way, not anybody would even think about stopping you. Well, they couldn't enter your head. Well, that's how I feel now. Hi, I'm Alexandra Gold, and I'm a woman on purpose, and I help women from all over the world become spiritually full, financially free, and confidently unstoppable. And we're here on the second part of a 3-part training on peace, passion, and prosperity. The 3 P's of finding your purpose, or being in your purpose, or working your purpose, or just having a purpose. I'm here and I'm in Soho Square, in the centre of Theatreland in London. And when I was growing up, all I wanted to be was on stage. I would dance, I would sing, I would practice and practice and practice and run up and down the hall with dancing to Zorba the Greek and sing my lungs out to Neil Sedaka and Liza Minnelli and think that I would be fabulous. Well, I practiced and practiced, and I did actually end up on stage quite a few times. But when I actually got to the West End, it wasn't to be on stage. By then, my fear had really taken reign, and I was managing a music studio in Berwick Street, around the corner. Fabulous job, great, but not my passion. Looking back though, it was essential to where I am now. So in this video, I just want to share with you how I managed to get to a place of passion again. And it wasn't the original passion, but I did have to look back. And if we look back to yesterday's, or the previous training on peace, we were talking about expanding our joy and finding our inner child and remembering who we are and what we loved, and taking away the negative intention from words, feelings, emotions, and situations. Now, if you've taken that on board, you'll know that you can think in a different way. It's your choice to feel happy or sad when people use certain words or when things are approached to you. But this one is about finding your passion. This video is about you and your passions. And so I went through a specific process to find my passion again. Not all of it was fabulous, but I did have to dig into finding those inner child emotions, finding the joy, finding the wonder, remembering what I loved. I think I'm going to take you on a little journey. Let's pop away again. So, behind me is a little boy you may all know. Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. I'm in Kensington High Street Gardens, or Kensington Gardens, should I say. And I brought you here because one of the first songs that I ever wrote was called Peter Pan Delirium. And I was in my early 20s when I wrote this song. There you go, you can see him a lot better there. Can you see the fairies? And I wrote this song because I thought, being 20 odd, that I would never grow up. I would never lose my confidence. I would never lose who I was. And I wrote the song, I wrote the lyrics. At that time I was with a band in South Africa, and I used to write songs all of the time. But when I actually got to London, I got to West End, and all these fears came in from nowhere, I gave up. I thought that was it. I thought I'd never actually find my passion or ever be who I wanted to be, and never realise my dreams. I thought that life was over. It was good, yes, I was good at running a business, but I wasn't really happy anymore. I wasn't who I wanted to be, And even though I went on to have a baby, the next 10 years were a struggle. I had a brain tumour, then I had disease of the bone, and I ended up losing my forehead and having to rebuild myself, having to find myself again. And it was a long and arduous process. And as I said before, when I went to actually find myself again, to find out who I was, I realised that I needed to find my centre stage. I had no idea what that meant at the time. I didn't have a clue where to start. I didn't have a clue who to ask for help with. I just felt like I wasn't being heard by anybody, that I was a nobody. I was in my 20s, I'd done all that I could do, and that my life was over. So I had to start again. And when I sat down and I actually put all of the things together after I'd rediscovered my joy and made myself enjoy life again, what I did find out is that I had to use the good bits, the not so good bits, and make them work for me. So by rediscovering my passions and what I loved, I eventually got to my purpose. And the one thing that I want to say is that I'm incredibly practical. I don't want to lead you up the garden path, so to speak. I do want to let you know that whatever I say, I action. I dream it, I manifest it, I find the courage, and I go after it. Nobody must tell me no. But it took a long time to get to where I am today. I had to take baby steps, one step at a time. I'm going to take you somewhere else now, because I did say this is a journey, and it's a journey of passion. So let's go a little bit further along the road. See you in a minute. Let's have a look round here, shall we? Do you know where we are? We're still in Kensington Gardens, but now we're a bit further along. And the reason I brought you here is because we're still talking about passion. And the reason I put the pictures in is because there could never have been a passion stronger than what Queen Victoria had for her lovely Albert. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Can you see it? Now, you might not really realise why that is relating to you, but strangely enough, one of the things you have to do when you're deciding your purpose is what you want your legacy to be. What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to say, oh, she was known for this, she was known for that, she was passionate. So I found another tree, and it's pretty quiet here at the moment, so I want to explore your centre stage. And I don't mean what theatre you're going to perform in, but I mean finding out who you are now. All the best bits, all the good bits. And that doesn't matter at any stage in your life. You can go over this time and time again. It's a story of rediscovery. Rediscovery of who you are, to find your confident core, your golden centre, the bit that you feel happiest in, that part to fill you up. And what I had to do, and what I teach you to do, is to go on a little story, a story of you, and take a big step into who you are, who you have become, where you started. And it doesn't matter if there are good bits and there are bad bits, because we all have them. You are enough to do this. Everybody is enough. We need to get passionate. We are all enough. The world needs everybody at the moment. All the goodness in the world, all the kindness and all the compassion. And I know if you're watching this that you have that. So just bear with me. If you go back to your childhood, what were the things that you used to love? The smells? The sights? Where did you want to go? What did you want to be? And when you move through your life, what were you good at? What did you really want to do? What did you practice? Never ending. What did you get better at? When did you start becoming who you wanted to be? When did you live at a part of your life where you were really, really happy and really full? And as you go through your life, what were the teenage years like? What was the music that you used to like? Where did you used to go then? And what did you choose as your education if you did? And it doesn't matter if you didn't. What did you choose to do as a job? What did you choose? Or what were your circumstances? What did you have to learn? What did you want to learn? What did you learn? And what have you actually pushed aside? Because we all do it. The things that we didn't really like. I was never thought I would have been running a business when I had my son, and I was running a profitable music studio, which is really difficult because people don't want to pay in the music industry. But I did learn the skills. And there have been times in my life where I've done jobs just to get some money to live. I remember selling, publishing, advertising, and that I thought I'd never use. I've worked in a call centre for hotels. Who'd think that you lose those skills? But I had to look back at all the skills that I'd done, that I'd acquired, all the experience that I'd acquired, and put them down, just write them down. And it's quite surprising at what you actually do know. And it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mum, a stay-at-home wife, whether you're rich or poor, old or young, we all need passion to move forward. It helps us. It helps to fulfill us. And when you find your centre stage, that really solid place where you can get up in the morning and you know and you can trust and surrender because it powers you forward, there's just something in it that will get you there. There's one thing that I actually want to stress, and this is really important, is that we don't all have the same passion for the same thing at different ages or at the same time. So wherever you are watching this, whether you are sat at home with a crying baby, whether you are at work in a job that you do not like, whether you've retired, whether you're just unsure of what you should be doing or just no idea where to start. We've all been there, and I've been there. I've been through all of those stages. And that's why I put this together, because I want other women not to have to suffer the way I did. And the thing that got me through, as I said in the last video, was the fact that there are always people that need our help. And whether that's a voice, whether that's physical help, or whether that's something that you can bring to them that you haven't even discovered yet. If you're watching this, I know you have that in you. And there are 3 stages to this for that very reason. There are people that will just need to feel peace and know that they're in a community of people that understand them. There are those that want to do something but are unsure of what their purpose is. They just haven't got to that stage yet. And so they'll be able to teach this. Something that I wanted to give to people so that people will be able to teach this. If you're not quite sure yet, because there are lots of times when you just don't know. Or you think you know, and then it changes every 5 minutes. Then the third stage are for those who are embodied. They know what they want to do, but just also want to be in a community of women that can have a voice. Or perhaps they can just adapt this for their own business or life and help steer others that need the help. There's a whole multitude of women who are just desperate at the moment, and they really come from all different age groups, all over the world. We all want to help. We all want to help. And A Woman on Purpose is about helping, but helping from a place where we are happy ourselves. And we can't give from an empty vessel. It's just impossible. When I started to work again after I was ill, I went to work for an arts community project that I thought would fill me up. I thought that I would be able to give back there, share my skills, and do something that I loved. But it didn't happen. The way things were run were just not morally right. They weren't sitting right with me. And I know that there are so many things in the world that just need our kindness, our compassion, and our ability to lead and teach others in that kindness and compassion. So finding your center stage is imperative, not just for you, but for all of us. It also helps us as women create a legacy that we can say we stood up, we said no. We want to do good, but we want to do it in a different way, in a way where beauty is abundant. We don't want to come from a place where greed is there, where hatred is there, where power, and it's just not us. I'm not saying that it's not all bad, but we can just do things a little bit different. And I think I'm overwhelmed with how many women are feeling this pressure and just the gnawing anxiety and angst of not being able to just stop everything bad happening in the world. And they also have to put food on the table and feel happy themselves. So when you're thinking about center stage, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed at all. I just want you to feel supported. I want you to know that you're not the only one. I want you to know that you are enough. And by Jove, you are so needed. I can't do this all by myself. But I did get to this stage all by myself. I don't want anybody actually, to suffer the way I did.